Hello everyone. I originally recorded this as an audio file, but the video editing program I do have wasn't compatible with the audio file, so I'm just redoing it right now. So I wanted to rant about my problems with most prequel reviewers. For those of you who have been living under a rock, about maybe 9 or 10 years ago in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, it was really cool and hip to hate on the prequels and bash them and bash George Lucas. One of the most famous reviews that came out in 2009 was Red Letter Media's Star Wars Prequel reviews, especially that freaking Phantom Menace review from 2009. Fuck those Plinkett reviews, by the way. So, yeah, I don't hate the prequels. I almost became a prequel hater because of these reviews, but I rewatched the prequels, a couple years ago, and I thought, these aren't that bad movies. So, like I said, I'm not here to review the prequels. I'm here kind of like reviewing prequel reviewers. Okay, so where do I start? One of my major problems with most prequel reviewers and their videos is that they always just complain about the same freaking thing about the prequel movies. Oh, it's not like the original trilogy, and if it's not like the original trilogy, it's bad. Oh, Jar Jar, midichlorians. CGI. What else? All of the acting is bad. There is no good acting whatsoever. Or I don't understand what's going on. No. I just cannot stand those people. And these people who review those prequel movies, they don't bring up a lot of actually good arguments and problems about the prequels. In fact, one of the only people who did was Star Wars versus video creator Jenserai1. I'll leave a link to his prequel rant in the description. That's pretty much the only prequel review that I can stomach, because Jenserai is not, he's a hardcore Star Wars fan. Which, I'll get to that in a minute. Another problem that I hate about a lot of prequel reviewers is a lot of them do the same thing. They always say something like, I'm not going to talk about the expanded universe. The expanded universe? They always say that, and they stick their nose up at the expanded universe. While I do agree that you shouldn't have to read the expanded universe to understand the movies, the problem is, like, Mr. Plinkett did this in the Red Letter Media review. He bashed the prequel, or of course, he obviously did bash the prequels, but he bashed the expanded universe and stuck his nose up at it like some purist who saw it as apocrypha. Does he realize that when he made that review in 2009, the expanded universe was canon at the time? And yes, people, the expanded universe was canon. Yeah, it was canon at the time, so it was perfectly credible source to use when talking about Star Wars. That being said, I still agree you shouldn't have to read it to understand the movies, but that's besides the point. It was perfectly credible to use. And that brings me to my next point. All these prequel reviewers they're not hardcore Star Wars fans. They're just film reviewers or original trilogy fanboy elitists. They don't understand the lore. They don't understand the universe. They're not hardcore Star Wars fans. And yes, only watching the movies doesn't make you a hardcore Star Wars fan. I don't care if you're offended by that definition, but it's true. And so they always answer these questions that, like, yeah, they always ask these questions. Like, there was this one guy who asked, like, oh, why is Mace Windu able to survive jumping from the platform? Why aren't his legs broken? I'm like, duh, a 5-year-old could figure it out. Me as a kid could figure it out. Jedi have powers that allow them to do feats, superhuman feats not possible for normal people. So that's a no-brainer. And so that's why I don't really like to watch all these freaking reviews. That's why I don't like most of the prequel reviews and can't stand to watch them. Especially that god-awful, overrated Plinkett, all the Plinkett reviews. I hate them. It was so hard to get through them, especially Revenge of the Sith. So, and also, like, Doug Walker, who's the nostalgia critic, you know what he said? He said something really ignorant in his Phantom Menace review. He said, oh, George Lucas had barely anything to do with the spin-off material. And they showed a picture of, like, Mara Jade, Jason Solo, Jaina, and the other original trilogy characters. And the scene where, I believe it was Jason Solo, he had a vision where he failed to catch Luke's lightsaber. And I'm like, dude, you don't even read the expanded universe. You're just a casual fan who's only seen the movies, so you don't have no credibility to say that George Lucas had nothing to do with the expanded universe. So that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts and rant on most prequel reviewers. What do you think of these people? Do you hate them too? Let me know, and have a good day, people.